Hello, everyone. It's time to start the show. Is everyone ready?
Hey, boss, we can't grab the creature for today's Dusty and Feather show.
Can't grab it? What do you mean? Did it escape? Did it get away? Do we have any idea where it is?
Escape? Yes, boss. Idea where it is? Yes, boss. Right above you.
Oh boy. One thing at a time. Let's get going. Let's cue Rich in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, I'm so excited that you're joining me today for the episode. We have a whole bunch of cool stuff that we're gonna do together. This week, our featured Bible story is the continuing story of Esther, this young lady who had an amazing story, and we get to learn more about it. I can't wait. Plus, of course, there's the Dusty and Feather show. Bob and Enzo, of course, are here. Naz and Roz, the whole gang is out here, so we are excited, so we need to get going. Are you ready to get in the zone? Let's go!
Hi, my name's Ezekiel. And my name is Zachariah. We live in Michigan. And welcome to Kids Bible Zone.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Ezekiel and Zachariah. So cool, thank you for that very nice welcome. All the way from Michigan, which is where I live too. That's so cool. Of course, we do need to see where Michigan is on our map, so let's take a look at the map. Awesome, very cool, thank you, map. We all know where Michigan is now. Remember, if you have a welcome that you'd like to also send so that we can use on the show, we would love to get it, but we can't get it unless you record it and send it, so please go to our website, kidsbiblezone.com, and you will see a link there where you can just record your videos, record them horizontally, and send them in so that we can use them on our show. We'd love to get those. Welcome from me, Rich Aguilera, and I'm so excited that you're joining me for the show today. And of course, we have an episode title, and the title for today is Esther's Banquet. Wow, that sounds kind of fancy. Something special's going on? What is this, a banquet? Wow, all right. We're gonna get to that in a few minutes, of course, but first of all, we always like to start off by stretching and doing some brain exercises with our brain teaser. Yeah, I love this part. Of course, the cool thing is you guys are the ones sending them in, and I just love getting those and reading those, and of course, sharing them here on the show. And the one that we have for you today comes to us from Mauricio in Sonora, California. All right, are you ready? Here we go. What has a face and 2 hands, but no arms or legs? Read that to you again. What has a face and 2 hands, but no arms or legs? Well, that sounds kind of strange. Okay, we'll get to the answer at the end of our episode together. So think and think and think. And of course, sit tight because I will reveal the answer just in a few minutes. All right, well, let's keep going now because it is time for our hidden animal challenge. Ooh, I like this part. So of course, God created animals with many amazing abilities and skills and talents, and one of them is some creatures are amazing at blending, at camouflaging themselves into their surroundings. So I am going to show you a photograph, as I do every single episode, of an animal, a creature, hidden in plain sight. And your job is to see if you can spot it. Are you ready? Take a look. All right. Let's see. Where is this creature? I'll give you another moment. All right, were you able to spot it? It's a deer. Yeah, right there. Awesome, very cool. Oh man, can't wait to see next time's Hidden Animal Challenge and see if you can find it. All right, well, let's keep going now because it is time to get started with our Bible story. And as always, we start off by checking out the KBZ News.
Hello everyone, and welcome to KBZ News. My name is Maria. In the breaking news today, we are getting reports of a Bible story unfolding at this time. KBZ News has sent a reporter into the field to report about this developing Bible story. Zebedee, can you tell us where you are right now?
Hello, Maria. Today we are reporting from just outside the palace, here in Persia.
Wonderful, Zebedee. I'm very curious about what you are doing and what you are reporting about, since the last few reports have been about this developing story of Queen Esther.
Yes, Maria, it is a fascinating story. So we recently got word from one of our Jewish contacts of something that has been happening here for the last 3 days.
What's that, Zebedee?
Praying, Amalia.
Praying?
That's right, Amalia.
I have just learned that all the Jews in the land have been praying for the last 3 days.
I see. That's interesting. Do you know what they've been praying for?
The information is a little sketchy, but the word on the street is that they are praying for the Queen.
Why would they be praying like that, specifically for the Queen?
All we know is that sometime today she is going to go before the king.
That's it?
Well, Amalia, the law here in Persia is that you can't go see the king unless you have been summoned to go see him.
I see. So, what happens if she goes to see him without being summoned?
The law says if someone approaches the throne room without an invitation, they can be sentenced to death.
To death?
That's right, Amalia. Unless the king extends his scepter to the person that is approaching.
Well, that's kind of risky.
It is, Amalia. So that is why so many Jews are praying for her.
But why are they praying for her, Zebedee? What does all this have to do with the Jews there in Persia?
Well, I have not been fully able to confirm this, Amalia, but rumor has it that this has something to do with the order Haman got the king to sign about killing all the Jews in Persia.
That's horrible.
I agree. And I've been told that part of it has to do with a Jewish man named Mordecai that spends time around the corner at the gate.
Why? What's wrong with him?
I don't think that there is anything wrong with him, Amalia. It's Haman. Haman wants everyone to bow down to him, but this Mordecai man refuses. He says he only bows down to God.
Wow, what a dilemma. So you think that this thing with Queen Esther has something to do with that?
That is what we're hearing, but we'll find out soon enough, Amalia.
Zebedee, thank you for your excellent reporting. We look forward to your continued reporting on this developing Bible story. This is Amalia reporting from KBZ News. We'll see you next time.
Well, where is that thing?
I don't know, boss. It was here a few minutes ago.
So we have any idea why it's even out? I don't think it's a good idea to have them running around in the studio.
I'll have to agree with you there, boss. What should we do?
Oh, let me think.
Do your kids love to read? Well, reading is definitely a great way to help connect them with Jesus. I've written several books, and I'd like to share one with you, Firewalkers, from our Bible Time Adventure series. It's about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but it's their story told from the point of view of a couple of kids that were there. I'd like to give you a free copy of that, so please go to our website at kidsbiblezone.com and click on Free Book Offer. Check it out, read it. Maybe you'll want to buy the whole series. Thank you for reading.
Hello everyone, I'm Roz and this is Naz and we're so happy to see you again.
Yes, very happy indeed. And extra happy because we know that every time we get together, it's to learn another awesome one of God's Bible verses.
Yes, that is pretty awesome, isn't it? I love that so much.
Yeah, and I love that the kids are memorizing them, storing little pieces of God's Word in their heart.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's way cool, just having God with you everywhere you go.
Yep, that's true. And speaking of everywhere to go, today we have come to a pretty amazing place.
Yeah, pretty misty place too.
Yeah, that's true. When the wind changes direction, we get a little misted here.
Yep, we are at Niagara Falls, right on the border of New York and Ontario. Pretty much the most famous waterfall in all of North America.
This is true. And so it is a good place to learn our memory verse for today.
Yeah, for sure. So are you kids ready? Naz will say the verse and we repeat after him. Okay, we're ready.
Okay, here we go. In all of your ways, submit to him.
In all of your ways, submit to him.
And he will make your paths straight.
And he will make your paths straight.
Proverbs 3:6.
Proverbs 3:6. What a cool verse. When he makes our paths straight, that means he makes them easier to walk on.
Yep.
I just love it. Well, kids, we're off to find the next hidden Bible verse scroll. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hello everyone, right now I am in Hawaii, on the island of Oahu in the town called Haleiwa. And this is a cool spot because there's this marina here behind me, and in a few minutes I'm going to take you on this pretty cool adventure. Not quite yet, because first of all, I want to share with you our Bible story for today, which is a continuation of the story of Esther that we started last time we were together. Esther was the queen of Persia. That is so awesome. The only thing is, no one knew that she really was a Jew. And of course, her cousin Mordecai, who had been taking care of her, helped her to get into that position. All right, so that's how far we had gone.
Now, there was a bad guy there in Persia, and he was the king's helper. His name was Haman. Boo. And Haman, he had these bad ideas, and he tricked the king into creating an order that would be to kill all the Jews. And the basic plan was that Esther would go before the king and ask him to help out with the situation. So in preparation for that, she decided, along with Mordecai and all the other Jews there in Persia, that for 3 days they would prepare and fast and pray before she went to see the king. Now, going to see the king was a pretty big deal, because if you were going and you were not invited to go, you could actually die. Unless, when you walked into the room, he held out his scepter. That's like his little stick. Well, 3 days came and 3 days went by. They prayed and Esther went before the king. Would he hold out the scepter? And fortunately, he did. He was so excited to see her. And he said, "Oh, Queen Esther, what can I do for you? I'll give you up to half the kingdom." And she just simply said, "King, I would like to throw a banquet for you and for Haman," which was the bad guy. Oh. And so they agreed to it. And at the banquet, she would ask him a question. "So the banquet is tomorrow. Please come tomorrow and I will ask you the question tomorrow." Okay, cool, awesome. So they went to the banquet. Now, Haman, he was kind of a little smug about the whole thing. He was like, "Wow, cool. I got invited to a special banquet, being put on by the queen for the king, and I'm invited." He was very proud. Remember, he's our bad guy who does not like Mordecai and does not like the Jews. The interesting thing is what happens next. That night, the king can't sleep. And I don't know, maybe it was God that put that in there, but he couldn't sleep, so he calls his record keepers and he says, "Read me something, read me some records." And so the record guy is reading in the middle of the night, and he reads about when in the past, Mordecai had basically saved the king's life. And then he's like in the middle of the night, "Wow, that's awesome. Did we reward Mordecai for that?" And the reader guy's like, no, we didn't do anything. And he's like, "Wow, we got to do something." So the next day, the king calls Haman, the bad guy, and he says, "Hey, Haman, if you really wanted to honor somebody, what would you do for them? How do you reward them?" And Haman, thinking that the reward was for him, he's like, "Oh man, I would put a really nice robe on him. I'd put him up on a horse, and then I'd have somebody lead him through town saying that this person is honored. This person is someone the king really appreciates. This person is awesome." And so then the king says to Haman, "Perfect, that's a great idea. Haman, I want you to do that for Mordecai." Oh, can you imagine? That's the guy he hates. Oh, but Haman had to do it because the king had ordered him to. So can you imagine how miserable Haman must have been when he's going around town leading a horse with Mordecai on it, having to say, "This man is honored." But that was over, and it was now time to go to the banquet. What would happen at the banquet? That's to be continued. Of course, that leads me to our special phrase for today, which says, "With God's help, I can have courage to do what is right." Just like Esther did. She had courage and did what was right. Awesome. All right, so we're here at the marina because there's something pretty cool I want to do with you. We're gonna go swim with some sharks. Are you ready? Let's get going. All right, well, I don't know if you can see right there behind me is the boat that we're gonna take out to go swim with the sharks. And if you'll notice right on the back, there's this big old cage. They're gonna drop that cage in the water and we're gonna jump in and be surrounded by sharks. And I know sometimes that kind of can seem scary to do some of these things, but that's okay because today we are talking about having courage to do things that sometimes may seem scary, including swimming in a cage with sharks. Let's go check it out. I gotta walk all the way around. Here we go. Wow, well that was awesome. You know, just as I said, it can be kind of scary to do some things, but it's so cool that we can ask God to make us brave, to make us brave enough to do the right things, and to treat people good, to treat people kind, and of course, to tell others about Jesus. All right, cool. Well, let's go see what Dusty and Feather are up to now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people from the North Pole and the South Pole and all the poles from Poland, we're just glad you're here. Welcome to the Dusty and Feather Show!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Yes, hello and greetings to each and every one of you. We're so happy to see you. My name is Feather, and this is Dusty, and we're just super excited that you're watching the Dusty and Feather Show.
Yes, the show filled with action, adventure, and danger.
Action, adventure, and danger? Are you sure we're talking about the same show, Dusty?
Action, because we are about to shout out hello to some of the most amazing kids in the world. Adventure, because we're going to learn about an incredibly adventurous Bible character in our game. And danger, because our animal today is one of the most dangerous in the world.
Wow, well, I guess so. Action, adventure, and danger it is.
Maybe we should change the name of our show to the Dusty and Feather Action, Adventure, and Danger Show.
Well, let's just see how it goes today, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, which means now that it's time for action! Shout-out time! Our first shout-out today goes to Sadie, Truett, and Serenity in Lincoln, Nebraska! Yeehaw!
Wow, okay, that was exciting. So our next shout-out today goes to some more siblings, Riley and Carson in Alberta, Canada. We are so glad you're watching.
Wonderful! And our last shout-out today goes to even more siblings, Caleb and Joseph in Bozeman, Montana. Double yeehaw!
Wow, cool, that was filled with a lot of action. Which means it's now time for adventure. It's time to play Who Am I?
Which means we are about to ask you kids to listen to 3 clues about a person in the Bible.
Right. You will try to guess who it is in the least amount of clues.
Right. And you can guess as many times as you want, but you only get 3 clues.
Precisely. So here we go. Here is the first clue. I was one for whom Jesus had affection for.
Ooh, good clue, Feather. That's definitely going to get them thinking, but I think they might be needing clue number 2, so here it is. Jesus said to free me and let me go.
Wow, alrighty, tricky. But these kids watching are super smart, so let's see if they can get it with this third and last clue. Here it is. I had 2 sisters.
Ooh, great clue, Feather. I know the answer.
Oh, well done, Dusty, well done. I think we've given the kids enough time to think, so go ahead and tell them the answer.
Okay, it's Lazarus.
Yeah, very good, it's Lazarus. Nice job, Dusty, good job, kids.
Yeah, which now it means it's time for danger.
That's right, action, adventure, and now danger.
Yes, danger. Come on, Feather, let's go.
Should I be nervous?
Definitely maybe.
Oh.
It's the hooded pitui.
Wait a second, this is a bird. I thought you said we were going to do dangerous. This is a cute bird. We have to change it to action, adventure, and cute.
Ah, but you are wrong, Feather.
It's not a cute bird?
Well, I suppose it is kind of cute, Feather. That whole red and black thing is pretty kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought, cute.
And deadly!
Whoa, wait a second, deadly?
And dangerous!
Well, this bird?
That's right, Feather. The hooded pitui is the most poisonous bird in the world.
Whoa, wait, what? Poisonous? No way.
Way! They may be beautiful and exotic rainforest birds native to the South Pacific, but they are able to produce a toxin that scares off predators.
Wow, and people too.
True. If you simply touch their feathers with your skin or your hands, they will become irritated and itchy, and you'll get a burning feeling all over your hands, and they will even become numb.
Wow, but they're so cute.
Aha, Feather, accept it. This is a dangerous bird, which goes to show that the Dusty and Feather Show is filled with action, adventure, danger, and nachos.
Nachos? Where?
Aha! Come on, my friend, follow me.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Oh boy, I see we found the bird just in time for today's Dusty and Feather Show.
Yeah, boss, I was able to grab it just in time.
Oh, well, that's very good.
Not so good, boss.
Why not?
I can't feel my hands.
Hello, everyone. I really hope you're being blessed by our show today. You know, we produce this show because we know it's necessary to reach kids all over the world. But we are a viewer-supported program, which means we need your help. That way, we can continue making more, and we can keep reaching farther and farther into the world so that millions of kids everywhere can learn about Jesus. Would you be willing to help us to become one of our supporters? If you feel that God might be calling you to do this, please go to our website at kidsbiblezone.com and click on support. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Break It Down with Bob and Enzo, where we seamlessly break down the action in today's Bible story. I'm Bob, and this is Enzo.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Bob. We're excited today because we get to continue talking about Queen Esther's story.
Right, Enzo, and boy, it's an exciting story, and the parts we've covered today shocked me, especially when Haman misunderstood the king and thought that the king was trying to honor him, not Mordecai.
Yeah, Bob. Unfortunately, I think that humiliating experience only ended up making him hate Mordecai and the Jews even more.
You're right, Enzo. And as we've mentioned before, the enemy will use our pride and ego to try to trick us into not loving others.
And he will also try to trick us into not being brave and having courage to do what we know is the right thing to do, like in our story today, Bob.
Right. Of course, I'm also glad and relieved that the king didn't freak out when Esther illegally went to the throne room without permission. Whew, that was a close one.
You said it, Bob. I was on the edge of my seat, but Esther is one brave lady.
And she's brave because she loved God and God was with her.
So true, Bob.
Well, it looks like we have a caller on the line. Hello, and welcome to Break It Down. You are on the air.
Hello there. I was wondering how Mordecai must have felt being led through the streets on that horse by a man he knew wanted to kill him.
Well, that's quite a question.
That's for sure, but it's an amazing question. That must have been so weird knowing this man hates you, but the king is forcing him to honor him because he's such a good man.
Haman wanted to be the one being honored, but that honor went to a person that was doing good.
Right, Bob. Sometimes we forget that there is no honor in doing bad things. As a matter of fact, since it's often harder to do good, you really have to be brave and have a lot of courage to do what's right.
Well put, Enzo, well put. And like we saw with Esther's story, her and her people prayed for 3 days straight before she went to go see the king.
That's a lot of praying and a lot of courage she had to build up, Bob.
No doubt, but I think the lesson that we can learn here is that if we decide to do what we know is right, God will give us the courage to do it, no matter how hard the situation gets.
Yeah, Bob, and sometimes, like in Esther's story, it may even have a life and death situation.
Very true. Unfortunately, in the story, Haman also had a wife and some friends that were pushing him along, making him feel even more embarrassed and ashamed that his plan totally failed.
Yeah, Bob. How can you claim to be his friend and even wife if they're putting him down and telling him he's a loser and that he needs to fight even harder to get rid of Mordecai and the Jews?
That's why we have to be very careful about pride, Enzo. Look what it makes people do.
Evil stuff, Bob.
Yep. Instead, we should look to God to help us be humble and always know what is the right thing to do.
Even if that means it's a scary thing, Bob.
Right. And even if it's scary, it's awesome to know that God promises to be with us and help us to have courage and be brave.
I love that. I just love God, Bob.
Me too, Enzo. Well, it looks like we have time for one more caller. Hello and welcome to Break It Down. You are on the air.
Hello there. Can you tell me if you are selling fresh mangoes today?
I'm sorry. I think you've dialed the wrong number, which means we are out of time. Thanks for being with us here on Break It Down. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Bob and Enzo, for breaking it down for us. So cool. Of course, that means it is now time for Game Show. That means I'm about to ask you 5 whole questions, which of course you are going to respond with 5 whole answers. And of course, I know you're going to do great because you do such a great job listening every time. Good on you. All right. Are you ready? Remember, if you know the answer, shout it out as loud as you can. All right. Here we go with question number 1. What's the name of our bad guy in today's story? That's right, Haman. All right, let's check out question number 2. What did the king hold out for Queen Esther when she entered the room? That's right, his scepter. Cool, good job. All right, let's check out question number 3. What did King Xerxes tell Haman to do for Mordecai? That's right, give him a robe and a crown and ride him around on a horse. Wow. All right, let's check out question number 4. True or false, that cage that we swam in the ocean was made of glass? No way, that was made of metal. Woo. All right, let's check out question number 5. True or false, the hooded pitui birds live in South America? That's right, false. It's in the South Pacific. Oh, all right. Whew, well, how did you do? Did you get all 5? Oh, I'm sure you did. Good job, everyone. Of course, next up, it's time to check out the brain teaser. Ooh, all right. Hopefully you've had enough time to think about it. Maybe you even have an idea of what the answer would be. And of course, thank you, Mauricio from Sonora, California, for sending it in. Naturally, I will read it for you one last time. Here it is. What has a face and 2 hands, but no arms and no legs? The answer? A clock. Oh, a face and 2 hands. Ah, whoa, all right. Thanks again for sending that in. Of course, if you have one that you'd like to send in, we would like to get it. But we can't get it until you send it to us. So please go to our website at kidsbiblezone.com and you will see a form right there to send them in. We are waiting, so get those going. All right, well, next up, it's time for the What's It. All right. You probably know that the What's It is a photograph that I show you every single time of something in nature that has been zoomed in, something that God created, and we get to see it in amazing detail. That's so cool. Of course, your job is to see if you can figure out what it is, even though it's super zoomed in. Are you ready? I'll show you the one that I showed you last time we were together. Here it is. Okay, wow, yeah, I remember this now. What could that be? All right, well, it is time to give you the answer because that is a close-up of human hair. Whoa, and I don't have too much. Haha, that's okay. All right, how'd you do? Did you get it? That was a hard one. Okay, let's check out now our next What's It. I'll reveal the answer, of course, in our next episode, but here it is. Whoa, okay, interesting. What could that be? All right, well, like I said, we'll come back in our next episode and I will reveal the answer. But now, it's time to sum it up! Of course, we are now going to talk about the 2 most important things that we talked about in today's episode. And the first one is, that's right, our memory verse. Good job. So we're gonna read it together. Ready? Here we go. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Proverbs 3:6. Cool, awesome. What could be better? Straight paths, that way you don't get lost or confused. Awesome. All right, and the second important thing that we want to remember today is our special phrase. That's right. Okay, let's also repeat that one together. Here we go. With God's help, I have the courage to do what is right. Awesome, and it's important to always do what is right. All right, well, our time together is up, but of course, we always end with a word of prayer. Let's bow our heads. Dear Jesus, thank you for the story of Esther. And thanks for reminding us that with your help, we can always have the courage to do what we know is right. In your beautiful name I pray. Amen. And now, as we close, let's be amazed by our Creator God. We'll see you next time.